Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'll be discussing how to improve the button flies on BDU pants. Say after a game night and you're at work or you're out in the field and you have to, handle your business and drop some unwanted pounds as discreet as possible. And it could be quite problematic with button flies that BDU pants typically come with. And BDU stands for Battle Dress Uniform. So this is what you get. A lot of security people and law enforcement guys wear this as part of their uniform, in addition to a lot of the government ops kind of guys. So it could be quite problematic if you have any kind of real urgency. And so why would you have button flies, honestly, right? Why not have a zipper? Well, zipper is really loud. So if it's like really quiet in the dead of night, your enemy can hear you. That is the least thing you want them to hear. Because if they hear that and they get the drop on you before you could drop and go, it's a bad day. So having the buttons makes it a little bit quieter. Hear that? Much quieter than the zipper. It's also not as easy to overcome with urgency. So you don't want to have an accident. You don't want the enemy to come after you. And they hear that zip zip with the zipper. So this is a ripstop material. So it's ripstop because the pattern's square. These do come in cotton, but they're awful heavy. And I believe that this is probably like a True Spec brand. Yeah, it is True Spec. Okay. And so if you got to wear these things, you want to make them comfortable and you want to make them like work for you, in the most optimum way. And definitely want to keep the top button because and you also want it being low profile. So you could wear your rigger's belt or whatever, you don't want something pushing into your abdomen, especially if it goes around your waist, kind of loaded and tight or heavy. So on your blue jeans, you have button studs, and that's what we'll be going with here. It'll give you a little bit more dexterity and a little extra room, to be able to get the button out of the buttonhole. And you'll still get that quietness that keeps you safe out in the field. But you can tell it's just a tad bit smaller than the button. But these guys come in all different colors and designs. So if you don't like, that silvery look, you can go with something that's a little bronzy, like these guys. This one's got like a skull on it and some kind of branding on it, but it's still a rivet style, button. They usually come in a pack with quite a few of them. So whatever you like is what you should get. But we want to be able to handle our business as efficiently as possible, so nobody spots our location and catch us, with our pants down. So we're going to be focusing on, the three buttons for the fly. This one, this one, and this one. We're going to keep this one, like I said, it's low profile. So you're going to need a razor blade knife, or any knife for that matter. And what you're going to do is you're going to remove your thread and your button here. I thought about using a ripper, but I want to use stuff that you guys probably have laying around, so you don't have to go to the store. Don't cut yourself. Could cut yourself if you're not paying attention. So what we're doing is we're just trying to get the thread to give out right here. Cut through the fibers of the threading. You want to cut in, not down, so you don't cut the material. There we go. So we got the button off. It's not scratched up too bad. You know, you could use it if you want to. It's just plastic. You know, I mean, it's no loss if you toss it. Could come in handy. But what we have here is the see, the threading's all there. There's no tears in the fabric. Come from the back side, pull it out. Get that out of there. Well, you see the 4 holes that the thread has made. It's a little furry on this side here because it looks like the thread's some kind of a polyester. So you want to get your awl. It's a sharp spike. Could be a nail. Well, preferably not a nail, but, you know, a long, sharp, awl-like tool. And then you just push right in between the 4 holes that the thread left behind. Right there. Careful not to stick yourself when you twist this so it goes all the way through. Let's see if we got them 4 holes right in the center there. Yeah. So you're just twisting this so you're not busting the fabric at all. And you're just making a hole by displacing your weave of the textile fabric. Just like that. So the secret to working with material and, you know, needling and what have you like that is you want to create a hole that's bigger than your threading or, you know, in this case, your rivet, button, nail stud, thingamabobber, for lack of a better term, that holds this together, you know, under compression. All right, so we got our hole. Twist her out. You don't want to pull it because if you pull it, you could tear fabric. You don't want to tear fabric. So the hole's big. What we have there, the spike goes through, just like that. And then we're being gentle to lay the fabric down all the way on the head of the nail, spike, what have you. Terminology is not important. What you're doing is important. You know? So we got this all the way down. There's no tears in the fabric, so we're doing good. We got our button stud here. And the way you do this, put it right in the hole there. Give her a push. Like that. Oops. It didn't anchor. It's been a while since I've done this. But what you do, and what the directions recommend you do, is you turn this upside down. And you hit it with a hammer so that nail gets driven into the plastic part of the stud. So you put this down like that, preferably on a piece of wood. And then you take your hammer, like the plastic side of this rubber-faced mallet, because plastic is very forgiving. There we go. Layer down. Like that. And just bump her in there. So you just continue to bap it, and then this guy will sit down, and you'll end up with a button stud. Or rivet stud, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. What are they calling it in this pack over here? Jean buttons. Wow, that's less technical than my homemade jargon. So after you've done this for a while, you don't want to use like archaic tools like a hammer. Be a caveman about it. You want to make more efficient tools so it looks professional. So what I have here is a 4-inch C-clamp, and I use this for a lot of different things, but there's a socket on here. It's a 7/32 of an inch, but yeah, this is ground out, and I ended up reprofiling it to make a press out of it so I could push pins, but it's also useful for other things as well. So with this socket, it's found its way in there. You could tell there's like these little flats. So if you have something like this and you just kind of, grind the end kind of like pointed like, tighten her down so the socket lays in there, presses like that. Now you have a really good button press. And it'll leave like the button in a really good type of situation where the nail head will be rounded down. So you got your wood. You don't want to damage the head of your button. That. Put her down just like that. Come on, don't be so awkward. I'll crank her down. Crank her down. I'm trying to get everything aligned. Right down here. So what I'm trying to do is center that 7/32 socket right on top of that nail. But I want that nail to be in the middle. So when this guy squishes down, it's going to bend down like the top of a rivet. It's going to be rounded under the pressure of the socket being cylindrical. So I've got the button here. The socket's on the nail. I'm going to turn her down like that. And what it's doing is it's crushing it down into the plastic. Of that button. All the way down. You could tell it's kind of winding around because there's some compression happening there, which is ideal. So now it looks like it's laying down, and you don't want to over crush it. So if it looks straight like that, like that, that's ideal. You could take it a little bit further if you want. You don't want it so you crush the, you crush everything to the point of like, it doesn't look good no more. Okay, so we're going to take that out, like that. So what we have here is rounded. It's a little off center. But it's a little bit crooked. See, I took it a little bit too far when I cranked her down. You can tell it's a little lopsided. But it's not going to come out. So you don't ever have to worry about this button. Yeah, you could tell right there, a little dimple. That nail made it all the way to the bottom. And then, I took it too far. But it's not really a problem. It It might irk you if you're a perfectionist, but it's going to be in an area of your pants where nobody's going to be looking at that unless somebody's doing your laundry. But so this little guy is going to go in here, whoop, just like that. Oh, look at that. Easy peasy, right? And you have to use the bathroom. You got a little extra room here to get that undone. And put it on, just like that. Oh, that is so easy. Let me get to doing the other two. I'm going to take it easier on the other two. I want to see, now, this is not easy. The standard way that they button these things up, you know, see how that just like that? You know, I like that feature. You know, I don't want to have to fight for the buttons. You know, have a Budweiser accident in my pants, you know, after a game night. You know, eating wings and drinking Budweiser. If you do that, I don't like Budweiser. I'm just being a little facetious here. But for those guys that do like lagers and stuff, they kind of mess with your guts. But you really shouldn't drink. You know, drinking's bad for you. But to each his own. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just trying to show you an easier way. Make your life a heck of a lot easier. If you have to wear these things for a living, you don't have to suffer through it. Now you want to master the button fly. There we go. Get that button out of there. Okay, so we got a big pile of polyester thread. Pull that junk out of there. I don't want all that in there. There we go. Don't want to damage your threads. Keep your ripstop in pristine condition. And once again, we'll make a hole. We'll make a hole bigger. You don't really have to go from the back side if you don't want to. You just see the 4 dots. Right there, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go right in the middle. Twist your awl. Goes right through. Looks like I'm in the right spot. There's a little bit of thread that's still there. You twist it so you don't tear the fabric. And you twist it back and forth like that. You just want to give it a little pull. You know, to create a little space here without tearing nothing. You slide her out, twisting it. You don't tear the fabric. You yank that out like that, you're bound to tear some fabric. That's not what we want to do. So we got our nail, spike, what have you. There's a hole right there. You see that? It's all bugging out. We'll put that right in the center there. Like that. No rip threads. No rip threads. And we're just going to kind of, you know, move all the fabric down so it doesn't catch on the little spikes or the ridges. Like that. It kind of look like ridgeback nails if you're into like drywall and stuff like that. You don't want your drywall to come out. You got wood studs, you just go put, I think they call them rick shanks, and they keep the stuff from pulling away from the wall so you don't get popped nails. But anyway, that's what they look like. They look like rick shanks. All right, so now I just need to have a button stud. If I could just, oh, there they are. I'm going to put that right there on top. We'll face her down. Just like that. Make sure it's right in the center. I'm going to use my hammer. You don't have to have a saw-faced hammer, but if you want to care what it looks like. See, we're going in. You know, it's really hard to go in straight when you start pounding on stuff. So that's why you want to use your trusty press. Put that there. And get that in there. All right, let's get our press in here. I don't want to take it too far like I did last time. There we go. Looked like I might have took it too far. Got a little bend to it. Not a big deal. Nobody should be looking at that. Especially during a uniform inspection. You got a problem. So let me check you there. So, yeah, it didn't like go through like that one, so I didn't take it too far. But you can tell it's mushroomed from the socket. The thing don't twist. Does it twist? It does twist. Does this one twist? No, this one don't twist. This guy gotta be tighter. I'll make it a little tighter so it doesn't be twisting. See, if it twists like that, you run the risk of the backside tearing the fabric. You know, not a big deal on ripstop, but you know, if you got the cotton BDUs, I guess it's the winter BDUs, if you want to think of them that way. You know, you could rip a ragged hole, and it's not ideal. There you go. I'm tighten it down. Crank her back, just like that. Pull my piece of wood out. C-clamp press. See how that socket makes the nail rounded like a rivet? Well, it didn't go all the way through. There's no divot in the center. And let's see if it twists. No, it does not twist. That is a beautiful thing. So I think you got it by now, what I'm trying to do. But let me get this last one in, and we'll just see how all this works out. Front face. Okay, so now get rid of this stuff. Let's see how our new button flies work in contrast to how they were before. So we'll put them in. Their eyelets. Just like that. Just like that. Just like that. See? 1, 2, 3. And the top one, we're going to leave on. Like I was saying, we don't want anything pushing on your stomach. Like that. All right, so doing a lot of walking and stuff, you're going to have a little space there. You always have a little space with BDU pants. But you're getting a little extra room with these jean button, like rivet buttons or whatever you want to call them. You know, the slots have a little circle at the end, so they kind of home in there. You're moving around, you know, like that. So, all right. So now it's time for you to lose weight and feel great. And you got to be fast about it because haste makes waste. So you take your belt off if you want to, because it's a dire emergency and you don't want to be fumbling around with those buttons. You could just take the top one off and go like that, drop your pants, handle your business. Ta-da! And then, you're going to have some gear to manage, of course, usually when you wear these types of pants. So now you get your buttons back in there, easy peasy, just like that. It gives you a little extra workspace, being a little elevated compared to the ones that sit flush. There you have it. Even if these are kind of silver, you're not going to see them. Nobody's going to get down at that level to be able to see them. And then, see, they're holding. You get a little aeration. You always get some kind of aeration with BDU pants around the flies, but like if your pants don't fit and you're on the heavy side, you might see a little silver bugging out. But if you're worried about how fast they come undone, you could get a different style button with a head that's kind of like not so concentric, like these guys here. Come on, there we go. See, they're not round, they're kind of ragged. It's part of their design, and the head's really thick, so when you push the spike up in there, it probably won't protrude into the front face like it did on the first one in here. But these will be a little more discreet, being a darker color. But anyway, I think you get my point. It makes potty time easy and not quite as fast as a zipper, but you'll never get caught with these buttons. And I think that they can be just as fast as a zipper once you get this button off, and it allows you, more control over your environment in a compromised situation. So if you like this video, just like and subscribe.